There we go. What is up, everyone? Welcome to the football chatbox. How are you all doing? Welcome to Tiger, Manish, Sam. How are you guys all doing? How's everyone going? Welcome, welcome. Now, game week is still ongoing. The triple captaincy so far hasn't. I think I would say I was 1 point off the expected what I was going to get from Brentford. I did mention against Brentford 2 points and two defcons. I did not take into fact that he might get a yellow card. Probably could have gotten a red card. It is what it is. So Wolves game is the next. Let's see what Gabriel can get. Freddie, welcome. How are you doing as well? Tiger says send me a message via Instagram, which I've just done. So Tiger might have got the notification. Manish says who's worried to get? As in, who should we buy? Sam says this year hasn't been my year. Ooh, what happened? Freddie says hi Ryan. Welcome, Freddie. How are you doing? Thank the Lord I fell asleep and never got my third Arsenal. Fair enough. Fair enough. We're in the top 1 million as things stand for now, at least. For the first time this season. Hopefully, we can remain in the top 1 million. We'll have to wait and see, obviously, how things go. With the triple captaincy, benching decisions, I guess, kind of worked out. Now, obviously, for those of you who are on the deadline stream, you would have been noticing that I was thinking of doing a transfer, which I ended up doing, and I ended up getting in James Hill. What I did was I sold Malik Chow, who obviously got 11 points as well, but I was never going to start Malik Chow if I even had him. So I ended up selling Malik Chow, bought in James Hill. I didn't end up doing the goalkeeper transfer of getting in Henderson, which actually worked out from, well, I couldn't even afford Henderson in the first place. So that was one thing. So I ended up buying James Hill for Malik Chow, and 9-pointer. I started Hill as well. I was like, okay, I'm buying Hill against Everton. I was like, I might as well just start him and see, because like pictures are not too bad. I was between him and I benched Thiago. I had Thiago starting, by the way. I went and benched Thiago and I was like, I'm going all in on this whole back in the Arsenal defense. Obviously, Arsenal probably should have lost that game against Brentford. I don't know how Thiago did not score a hat trick, or like how he did not come away with a goal at least. I do not know. So I kind of got lucky in that situation. But James Hill, man, now he's 4 million. I'm glad I got him in. He's definitely an absolute bargain of a price. So yeah, pretty happy with that move. Should I do Mboemo and Hill for Tarkowski and Bruno G? As in buy in? Yeah, I don't mind if you want to buy in those players. Yes, I do not mind at all. So yeah, we'll be talking about transfers, and we'll also be talking about the double game week 33 / blank game week 34. Kind of keep that in mind of things that could happen. I think we'll speak about. I have it here, but I think it's probably better to speak about it a bit more on the podcast. We'll be doing the podcast on Thursday this week. So we'll speak more about it on the podcast as well in terms of chip planning for that one. But obviously, we need to consider blank game week 31. What I can tell you from looking at this right now is, if you have your free hit chip, save it for game week 34 is probably what I would say. I would not use it in game week 31. Try and save it for 34 is all I can say. As things stand, based on looking at like how the FA Cup fixtures are also planned out for the next round, a lot of the big teams got some easier ties. So I'd probably, save it if you can, is what I would say. This is for your free hit chip. Wildcard, it's all squad dependent. So, like Sam says, I'm so tempted to wildcard. My team needs open heart surgery, but this year I swear every player sucks and nobody's scoring the points this year. Fair enough. So, wildcard is kind of team dependent as well. That's kind of you had to keep in mind. So yeah. Now I'll talk about transfers, because obviously this week I have one free transfer as well. And I was thinking the team, I was thinking of benching even Declan Rice. I don't know if that's the right decision. Solio, like I went and had a look at Solio and they were like, oh, start Declan Rice. Now, obviously, Mukiele is playing against Fulham. I actually don't mind starting Mukiele. Sunderland are unbeaten at home still, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't mind starting Mukiele over Declan Rice. Is kind of where I'm at as things stand. I I could be wrong on that. I'm just wondering, like, transfer wise, what to actually do. I could even sell Declan Rice and bring in an Anton Semenyo. Now, the only thing with doing this Anton Semenyo move is when it comes to game week 31, I'm basically spending a transfer to sell a blanking player to buy in another blanking player. So kind of feels too big of an issue that I will have to kind of take a hit later down the line. Potentially, I haven't planned it out yet. Like if I sold Declan Rice or Semenyo, and then 28, I end up with something like this, for example, and I would want a Liverpool player. Yeah, I probably want a Liverpool player in 28. Which Liverpool player would I sell? Joe Pedro on the form he is right now? Probably not. Or maybe I should. I don't know. It's just Arsenal. Aston Villa and Newcastle Everton is still pretty good in terms of fixtures. If I didn't sell Joe Pedro and I wanted a Liverpool player, could I do Timber to Van Dijk? I don't really trust Liverpool's defense. But if they're getting points from set pieces, Van Dijk is mainly the one who benefits from it. So if I did something like this and started him over, let's say, even James Hill for that week, then I went into 29. I'm just going to see what Tiger, welcome. How are you doing? I'm going to kind of see what would I do here? To start Wilson. Oh my days. I don't even know who I would bench in this situation. Semenyo? Surely not. Enzo maybe? I probably bench Enzo against Aston Villa. Start Harry Wilson. Ignore the defense. Like defense I would keep swapping about. So game week 29, let's say I didn't do a transfer. Game week 30, we end up with something like this. I can still avoid not having to do a transfer, for example. And then 31 is when we blank. And I have this many players blanking. So on the bench, I'd ideally want Haaland, Gabriel as not to be sold. Where he's the one I'll have to sell with 3 free transfers. Oh, I can do Semenyo from the looks of it then. I can afford to do Semenyo, assuming I get no injuries. However, I would have wanted a Liverpool player, but I don't know. Like the only way, if I wanted to get Ekitike, for example, and I sold Joe Pedro, ooh, just enough cash. However, if I wanted to upgrade my goalkeeper in Verbruggen for, say, Kelleher, right? Because I'm annoyed with Verbruggen right now. This is a hit. Would I take a hit this week? Probably not. Especially given that Verbruggen is playing Brentford. I could probably still take a hit. Do I really want to take a hit? Decisions. Kelleher is the only goalkeeper I can think of, but will they keep a clean sheet? Will Kelleher keep a clean sheet? I don't know. That's the only problem. He might keep a clean sheet because Brighton have been pretty poor. But if it's not a guaranteed bank a clean sheet, there's no point taking a hit for a goalkeeper. So I probably don't do that move this week, which means I delay the move a bit more. Kelleher in this week has Burnley. This is not a bad week to bring in a Kelleher if I really wanted to. But Brighton against Forest. Forest have sacked a manager. Who knows what manager Forest? Oh, they're getting Vitor Pereira, right? From the former Wolves manager. So, I mean, maybe I can still keep Verbruggen and then get rid of Verbruggen in game week 29 or say Kelleher, who's playing Bournemouth. Jeez. Can I not get a decent goalkeeper? Bournemouth, Wolves, Leeds. Actually, Bournemouth, Wolves, Leeds is maybe not too bad actually to get Kelleher. Bournemouth, Wolves, and Leeds. Three. I mean, Bournemouth he might not get anything, but Wolves and Leeds, it's not too bad. Fulham have West Ham, Forest, and Burnley. Maybe I can even go Leno if I trust Fulham in terms of their defense, which I don't necessarily do. Allison, West Ham, Wolves, Spurs are too expensive for a goalkeeper. Actually, not worth it. So yeah, I mean, if I was to get Kelleher here, and then Wolves, yeah, that's fine. And I just sell Guehi then in this week and get like an Anderson for a short term. 1 week, Anderson, Fulham against Burnley. I just get him for that one specific week. And that's all I really care about him. I mean, probably him only, right? I could go Matty Cash against West Ham, but unlikely. So kind of this is where my thinking is at the moment. Maybe Semenyo on the thumbnail. I can probably do it from the looks of it. Now this is what you guys have to also think about. You guys also, when you're going to Game Week 31, you need to look at your teams and see how many players you'll be ending up having to blank, like on your bench. How many blankers will you have in your team in total, and see whether you guys have the transfers, or will you guys end up taking hits to get 11 players out on the pitch in Game Week 31. So that's something for you guys to consider as a short-term planning. And then obviously after that, we can think about Game Week 32, 33. People might wildcard in 33. Maybe people might wildcard in 32. So like you're basically dead end in 31, wildcard 32, bench boost 33, free hit 34. That is probably how a lot of people are going to play it as things stand. That's what I'm telling you. And look at this. This is Game Week 34. Without me wildcarding, this is what the team would have looked like. But if I was to wildcard in 32, I would have loaded up on Game Week 34's doubles. Sorry, Game Week 33's doubles to be, like Freddy says, could be the biggest blank possible in Game Week 34 with 8 teams blanking, which means massive Game Week 33 is expected. So I would have probably loaded up on 33 and then 34 blank. So free hit here, bench boost here, wildcard in 32, dead end in 31. So that's something you guys need to consider in terms of how you're approaching things. Obviously, some of the fixtures from 34. Now, all of these fixtures that get blanks in 34, I mean, it doesn't mean that I don't think all of them go to 33. I don't know if there might be possibilities for some of them to move to like a 36 or a 37. I'm not really sure. But yeah, I think just looking at how everything is forming, that is how I think a lot of the popular, I think you'll see when it gets close to that time, a lot of the big content creators will start suggesting that, where they say dead end 31, wildcard 32, bench boost 33, free hit 34. That is what you're going to start seeing mentioned around. Sam says Tottenham will play like prime Barca this week versus Arsenal. You watch. Oh, that'll be a very interesting game. I'll definitely be looking forward to that. So yeah, that's kind of where my planning is. Now let's my planning is, let's have a look at your teams. This is what I got from Freddy in terms of Freddy's team. Is it too big? No, too small? Let me load it up a bit more. Oh, too big. Okay, there we go. This is Freddy's team. Rea in goal, Mukiele, Gabriel, Munoz, Saboslai, Declan Rice, Bruno Fernandes, Enzo, Mbuemo, Ekitike, Haaland, Van Dijk, James Hill, and Mark Yu on the bench with Dubravka as well. I think Freddy, you were mentioning something about rolling the transfer, if I'm not mistaken. Freddy said, bust him. I think I'll just roll. Need to sort out bench orders. Need to sort out bench order. I probably keep the bench the way it is. I don't really see Mark Yu coming in and starting, right? And between Van Dijk and Hill, I mean, both of them could get something in the respective games as well. Van Dijk, Hill. Now, the reason for bench order, you guys, when's the Man City game? Ooh. I mean, we could get a league. Maybe. We don't know. Pepe said about Haaland's niggles and everything. Obviously, wasn't available for the FA Cup as well. So that's more likely resting. So if Haaland doesn't play, just in case people need to have a bench, like first bench order, just in case ready. And if you wanted someone first bench, Van Dijk for set pieces or Hill for Defcon. Hill maybe for Defcon as a first sub. What do you think, Freddy? That's the only thing. I love free hitting on the doubles. I gained like 70k places of that exact double 1 year. I finished top 10, and that week my score was top 5k in the world. I got nearly 200 points. Damn, that's huge. That's my opinion of the free hitting on a double. The top 10k, not top 10. Jeez. Top 10k is still massive. Like anything 5-digit or 4-digit game week rank is huge. I mean, that's another alternative that you guys can do as well. Like you end up in a situation where what you do is, okay, this is where it gets a bit interesting. For those of you who've used the wildcard chip already, right? If you've already played your wildcard chip, you obviously can't dead end 31, wildcard 32, bench boost 33, free hit 34. That plan is out of the window, right? If you already used a wildcard chip. Now, if you already used a wildcard chip, I think I'll end up repeating myself on the podcast as well, because now you give me the idea. So if you already used your wildcard chip, what you're probably going to do is you still try and get 11 players out for Game Week 31. Game Week 32, you obviously try and roll. So ideally in Game Week 31, you want to carry over at least 1 or 2 transfers to 32 as well, if possible. I'll be carrying over 2, I think. Obviously, I'll be using one here. Let's say I did like Anderson, for example. Right? Let's say I did something like this. I'll go into 32 with 2 free transfers. So you might want to try and carry over some transfers. Whether you're wildcarding or not wildcarding, doesn't matter. Try and carry over if you can. And then when it gets to 33, for those of you who used a wildcard, you could probably, like Sam says, use free hit in this week. Yeah, you could probably free hit in this week. And because of that, you won't have to load up in 33. You won't have to fully load up on 33 if you're free hitting. And that means your team won't be devastated in terms of multiple blankers in 34. Although that depends on how many blanks we get. Like if we get only, like Freddy says, if you get 8 teams blanking, then you're kind of screwed. You need to free hit regardless of whether you wildcard in 32 or you've already used a wildcard chip. 2 games is basically like, and the 2 games could be most likely United versus Brentford. And there was one more other game that was possible. But like if you get 2 games, then you're kind of like screwed. Like you won't have enough players. I mean, if you get 2 games, there's a case to be made that there's no point even, like the upside of free hitting is not even there if we only get 2 games, right? Because everyone's going to basically have the same player. So if there's no upside even on a 2 games. I don't think we'll get 2 games. I think we'll get at least 3 to 4 games, to be honest, minimum, potentially. Just based off past seasons, we've always had at least 3 to 4 games. So I don't think we'll have 2, but like, yeah. So you could probably like have a normal team, you free hit in 33. But this again, the other situation is bench boost. If you've already used your bench boost, then you could probably do something like this. If you haven't used your bench boost, then you probably have to decide between bench boosting or free hitting this week. This is assuming you've already used your wildcard, right? So that's there are few different permutations possible that you guys have to kind of consider based on your team and chips that you have left. Harlan Injust says Tiger, he has niggles apparently. I don't know the extent of what the situation is. We kind of had to wait for the press conference news to find out. Is Champions League this week? It is, isn't it? Yes, Champions League is this week. However, Manchester City are not playing. So we will not get any news on Haaland anyways. But however, Quarterback versus Newcastle. This is the game we all want to know. Benfica versus Real Madrid. Will Jose Mourinho get his revenge? But yeah, this is kind of what we're looking forward to. Yeah. So Champions League, we don't have any City news for this week anyways. Save that wildcard for the doubles bench boost, dead ending to 31, 4 to 5 free transfers. Yeah, probably something like that. Yeah. Only be 4 games max, 8 teams, be 6 matches still minimum. Yeah, you could probably have something like that. So Yeah, that's the thing, right? So 4 games max for the FA Cup, which means 8 teams at best, 8 Premier League teams. Which actually, will it be 8 Premier League teams? What's the FA Cup? Let me get this FA Cup draw again. Uh, where is this FA Cup draw picture? Okay, so this was the FA Cup draw. So you have Fulham, Sunderland, 1 Premier League team from this tie. So that's 3 Leeds, 4 Arsenal, 5 Liverpool, 6 Chelsea, 7. Um, what happened between Macclesfield, Brentford? Did we know? Brentford won. So another Premier League fixture. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 teams. Which what is this? Will go down to 4 then. I mean, all 8 teams could be playing. Yeah, fair enough. 8 teams will go down to 4. And let's say all like 8 Premier League teams went through. Sadly, Brentford won. Yeah. So we have what? Let's say 8 Premier League teams went to the next round. That will be the quarterfinals. Yes. So it's the semifinals that really matter, right? Oh wait, is it quarterfinals? Quarterfinals, right? FA Cup 6th round. Where is this Lego Mane chart? Sadly, Brentford won. I can still get a good old crack though. 5th round. Yeah, quarters. Yeah. Okay. So let me bring this up. Basically, it's this one, right? That you guys are looking at. You guys can't see it because it's too big. All right. There we go. So game week 30, between 31 and 32, we have the FA Cup quarterfinals. And then 33, 34. Wait, FA Cup quarterfinals, European games, European games, European games. The FA Cup semifinals, right? Yes, is in 34. So 8 teams go down to 4 teams. So it's basically 4 teams that will blank, most likely. Sorry, 4 teams that will 4 teams will blank, which will result in potentially what, 4 games getting cancelled if each of them are not playing. So 4 games could get cancelled. So we'll have 6 games in 34. Yes, we should have 6 games in 34. So minimum we'll have 6 games in 34. Gaming 34 will have 4 matches blank. Yes. Worst case scenario, 4 matches blank. Is there a best case scenario? Actually, no. Best case scenario is 4 matches blank. That means we have like a bigger double in 33. Worst case scenario, what is the worst case scenario? Fewer teams blanking? Who do Burnley play City? But actually, who's still in it? Sunderland play Forest. Forest are still in it. Let me get this F Cup thingy. Forest are still in the. No, Forest are not it. Wait, Sunderland are still there. They play Forest, who are not there. So that's not going to happen. Burnley City, no, Burnley are not there. Leeds are still in it, who play Bournemouth, who are no longer there. I should bring this one up actually. So what's possible? Okay, so Arsenal and Newcastle could be a blank. Brighton Chelsea could be a blank, potentially. So we could probably, very likely, yeah. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These are the 10 games. So we're guaranteed 1 blank, at least. Maybe. Arsenal Newcastle probably very likely to blank, right? If Arsenal beat Mansfield. Okay, I guess we'll have to wait and see how things go. Four. When is the 34? Is 25-4. So regardless of whether the teams FA Cup round 5 is after game week 20. So okay. So regardless of the thing is they can't wait, right? Premier League can't wait till the results of the FA Cup quarterfinal to know who's blanking, right? Or they could probably make announcements. Yeah. Because I'm just looking at the days. It's like, what is that? That's almost 3 weeks notice. 3 weeks notice to fans and everyone that your team could blank or could not blank. Would they do something like that? I don't know. So regardless of whoever makes it to the quarters, most likely gets blanks, right? 34 potentially. Unless they keep it. Game week 34 could be moved to midweek in game week 34 if neither team reaches the quarterfinals of European competition. Okay, we'll see. It's a bit confusing in terms of like, I'm just wondering whether the Premier League will wait till the results of the quarterfinals to kind of announce a double game week 34, or will they announce it before? Either way, we will know information about the double before we head to game week 31 potentially. So even before the blank game week 31, we'll have some good information about what we're expecting for game week 34. I am anonymous says currently sat at 3.6 million. I have free hit, bench boost, wildcard left. Is my target of 200k achievable? 3.6 million. Target of 200k. Let me see. If I was to go. What's your FPL ID? I am anonymous. Actually, let me put mine. So for me, this is how I find it out. You said you're 3 million, right? And target of 200k. So 72 points plus another 62 points. That's 434 points. 134 points. 134 points could be clawed down. You might need a lot of luck. But it's still possible. What you will need to do potentially is you'll need to maximize the amount of double game week players, etc., that you have. That is something when I was chasing rank couple seasons ago, I maximized having many double game week players as possible. That means more routes to points. So you might be able to do it. You still might be able to do it. What's your lowest team ID? I think I remember having a 4-digit team ID. I think that's the best I've been able to do. For me, my target was top 100k. It's 81 points. I think 81 points is still doable in terms of me catching top 100k. For you, it's 134 points from 3 million to top 200. For me, it's like 132 points to top 10k. But for me, getting top 10k is a bit more harder because the closer and closer you get to like inside top 100k, the movement will be way more smaller. Whereas the movement from 3 million to even top 1 million, there's like a massive, there could be huge variance from 3 million to 1 million. So you should expect bigger movement outside the top 1 million. But when you get inside the top 1 million, kind of expect a bit more slower amount of movement, and then that's why you'll need to maximize your doubles and all of that. Juntao, welcome, welcome. How are you doing? I love free hitting the big double. Sam looks like Sam has decided his moves. This idea already has decided his moves. Tigers FPL ID 343-625 6275 343-6275. How do I change my? So this is what Tiger is at. Tiger is like 12 points away from top 1 million and 93 from top 100k, which is still achievable. This is kind of how I look at how far. I think 100 points is still catchable. Slightly more than 100, you need a bit of luck. You need luck regardless. You need a bit more luck and you need to take a few more risks if it's slightly more than 100. So yeah. All right. So this was Freddy's team. Anyone else, if you guys have teams, let me know. I'll bring it up. I think Manish, you sent me your team as well. So I'll bring Manish as well. Oh, Manish asked me the question about Bruno G, and this is Manish's team. He wanted to sell Bruno G and Tarkovsky to get Mbuemo, Somerville, and Hill. Yeah, I don't mind Manish if you wanted to do the transfers you were talking about, but wait till the Arsenal game and everything is done. Oh wait, we sacked Frank. I got to change my name now. It's Frank's Army still. Yes, you probably have to. Is it to do to dare? Are you going to change it to that? To do is to dare. Sam. Gabriel O'Reilly, Chalaba, Richards, Anderson. Bench two. Bench two between Gabriel O'Reilly, Chalaba, Richards, and Anderson. I would bench Richards, Anderson. Anderson, I think I probably bench Anderson. O'Reilly and Chalaba, Chelsea, Burnley. Ooh. Can't really bench Chalaba when he has Burnley, right? O'Reilly might be the play. And this is after he's just scored a goal as well, I'm saying. Richards versus Wolves. I mean, benching Richards also against Wolves. I'm not fully against it. The way Palace are playing, I'm not against benching Richards as well. Like benching Richards and Anderson is one option, or you bench O'Reilly and Anderson. That's kind of where I'm at. Frank's Army 179. Let me bring it up. Maybe it might be just stay up. Oh, how have you reached this situation? My days, my days, my days. Rhea, Anderson, Gabriel, Hennessy, Enzo, Wilson, Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes. Oh, kind of wish you woke up to change your captaincy at least. Anderson, Haaland, Ekitike, Evan Nelson. So what are you planning on doing, Sam? How many free transfers do you have? Yogesh says my ID is planning to roll unless Haaland is injured. We'll think of getting Thiago and Salah or what's for a minus for Anderson from Fulham. Oh, it's Anderson from Fulham. That changes my opinion. Does it? No, that doesn't change my opinion. I still say bench Anderson because it's Sunderland at home. Yeah, I probably still bench Anderson. Yogesh, are you in the mini league? If you can tell me where you are in the mini league, I'll bring it up. Otherwise, I can just load it up as well, regardless. What did you say? Oh yeah, Tiger also sent his team, didn't he? Tiger. This is Tiger's team. I'll load Tiger's team after Frank's. Yogesh says no, bro, not in the mini league. Don't forget to join the mini league. Here's the mini league link. Two free transfers, says Sam. Two free transfers. Evan Nilsson probably can go. Oh my days. Look at these fixtures and I'm telling you to sell Evan Nilsson. Oh, do we really want to sell Evan Nilsson? He's never really been a good FPL option. But these fixtures are too good to ignore. Here's the thing. Evan Nilsson could go to Job Pedro, one option. But after this, Joe Pedro's fixtures are not as great. I'll be honest about that. James Garner can leave. I'm really tempted to early set up a blank Gameweek now and know how many transfers I need for a full team out of free hit the double week and then rest after. Burnley is frustrated. One fixture. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. Yeah. So you could probably do Evan Nilsson to Joe Pedro and just target that Burnley fixture. I mean, James Garner is the other one I'm looking at your team and could actually move as well. Michael Keane, now that O'Brien got a red card. I mean, you could do Michael Keane to Hill from Bournemouth if you wanted to free up some budget. But he should get some games now. So you could still keep Michael Keane as well. There's no problem in that. But yeah, looking at Sam's team, if I was to get another one, I should probably save these moves. Great draft. All right, looking at Sam's team for Game Week 31. As things stand in 31, you have only 3 blankers, which means you're fine. Your team is kind of fine in terms of blankers. Would I wildcard this team? No, not necessarily. You could do something like this for this week. You don't really have to wildcard this team. You could even do something like this. Basically, use all your cash. Actually, would I get rid of Anderson? Who does Forest play 31? Spurs. Liverpool, Brighton, Man City, Fulham, Spurs. James Garner. Man United, Newcastle, Burnley, Arsenal, Chelsea. Jeez, it's so much more harder. 5.2 versus 5.4. Can't sell Garner to Semenyo. But you can sell Anderson to Semenyo if you really, really wanted to. You probably do something like this as well. This is up to you in terms of how you want to approach it. I don't think I would wildcard this team. It doesn't really need a wildcard, to be honest. Rohan says, check teams on CentOnX. Yes, I'll bring it up. So that's kind of what Sam's team is looking like. Sam, think about it. Have a think about it. See who you want to go and buy. Then you can have a look. All right, let me go to Tiger's team. Petrovic, Gabriel, Timber, Chalaba, Shaw, Semenyo, Bruno, Enzo Zubimendi, Haaland, Joe Pedro, James Garner, Raul, Van Heck, and Dubravka. Tiger, you also don't necessarily have to wildcard this team. I think your team you've made your team into a situation where it's now pretty decent. I don't think there's any wildcards needed for this. Are you looking to make any transfers, Tiger, or have you already made transfers? And Tiger says, did you mention what game week wildcard? Yes, game week 32 is what I mentioned for wildcard. Game week 32. And then while I'm waiting for Tiger's reply, let me load Rohan's teams as well. This is one team. I've got one free transfer, says Tiger. Okay. Hold on a minute. This is another one. One free transfer. Who to bring in? Maybe sell in Zubomendi? Why is Chelsea team not green? What do you mean Chelsea's team not green against Burnley? As in the fixture? It's not green? Really? It should be. It is green. Please check mine. Yes, yes, Yogesh. I think I have yours. This is yours, right, Yogesh? Don't worry. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Yours is next up. What do you mean it's not green? It is green. All right, I'm gonna head out. Thanks for help. I'm definitely changing my name to stay up. All right, best of luck. Best of luck, Sam. On my account. Oh, it's dark green. See, it's dark green, as you can see, which means it's even more easier. But I don't think. I mean, the only thing maybe you can get rid of Zoo Wendy if you really wanted to. I haven't I mean, Zubomendi to Brian and Boemo is a potential move, or even to a Liverpool player you could do. Actually, you can roll the transfer as well, and then next week get the Liverpool player in. That's an option as well. And then this was Yogesh on the other hand. Haaland out for a -4 to get Thiago and Salah. Ooh. Haaland out. What do you think if he's injured? That is. Oh, okay. If he's injured, then yes. If Haaland is injured, it makes sense. Then I don't mind getting Haaland out. If he's not injured, I would not do it. So, Yogesh, the question to you: if Haaland is not injured, what do you plan on doing then? I bought in Zubomendi last week. Yeah, that's the thing. You can keep Zubomendi. You don't need to sell him this week because against Spurs is still not a bad fixture overall. But then from next week onwards, like from game week 28, you might want to look into selling Zubomendi and Timber, both of them. I'm looking at transferring Haaland only if he's injured. If he's not injured, don't do it. If he's injured, then yes, you could probably consider it. Actually, if he's injured, then yes, do it. If he's not injured, don't do it. Rolling says Yogesh. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I think that's not too bad as well. That is not too bad as well. Look at this. Number 1 in the mini leagues. Number 3 here. Overall rank is looking pretty good. Do you think O'Reilly to Hill for funds makes sense? Newcastle without Bruno Jimenez generally haven't done well. Having said that, Newcastle are also playing Champions League this week against Karabag. And if I'm not mistaken, it was a home or was it an away fixture? It is an away fixture. Don't really have to sell O'Reilly, to be honest, for this week. The fixture is not too bad for Man City in general. There's no real need to sell him. It's not like James Hill. I mean, I don't think James Hill is going to go up again another. He's already gone up for once this week. I don't think he's going to go up again for this week. Where is James Hill? Yeah, he's not going to go up again this week. So you can wait for now. You can even wait one more week before making the move. Ekitike looks a good replacement. Yes, Ekitike will be the replacement if Ekitike or Thiago, one of them. One of those two will be a replacement if Haaland's not available. Yes. Only if he's not available though. And then after Yogesh, we had Rohan. Who? This is Rohan says, done Mane to Larson. Fair enough. Bench boost active. Let me know if that's a good decision. No. I would save your bench boost, Rohan, for this team. Save it. Don't need to play. Bravka against Chelsea, you're not going to get anything. Manny Fernandez against Bournemouth, maybe you get something. Mukiele, same thing. You could probably get something. Justin against Villa, unlikely to get something. I don't think I will play the bench boost for this, to be honest. If anything, I might have even thought about start. Well, I am personally thinking about even playing Mukiele over Timber, because I think Spurs new manager, maybe they get a clean sheet. I mean, not clean sheet. Maybe they score a goal against Arsenal. So Timber in that case doesn't seem that great to have. So I might even sometimes start Mukiele over Timber, if anything. But I don't think this is bench boost worthy, especially with the double in 33 looking to be pretty big. I'd save your bench boost for that specific week. And also, since it's the last chip available for you, I would save it for 33 personally for this team. When will we know about Haaland? Press conference, Tiger. Probably Friday. Friday night as well, after the press conference. Also, there's so many options for Rise to someone next week. Wilson, Dango, Ryan, Edley. Yes, exactly. So if you can wait one more week, completely fine. Okay, we'll save bench boost and start Mukili. Okay. And then this is the other team, which is one free transfer left, bench boost and triple captain also available. Doubts on Haaland. Again, same situation. Don't necessarily have to play the bench boost. If anything, you can even start Krupi Jr. over Drewsbury Hall. Maybe could start Krupi Jr. over Drewsbury Hall. James Hill or Mukiele again over Timber if needed, or even over Declan Rice, one of the two. Although I might be taking too much risk benching both of them. I don't know. That's kind of how I'm feeling at the moment. My tune might change after I've seen Arsenal's performance against Wolves. We'll see how Arsenal perform against Wolves, and then I might have a different opinion on Timber and Declan Rice both potentially. Glad to see. But at this moment, I'm benching both because I want to start Mukiele and Hill both. I don't know if that's the right decision, but that's kind of where I'm leaning at as things stand. But again, you don't need to play a bench boost. Haaland, if he's out, I mean, Thiago is a good replacement. Ekitike is also a good replacement. If Haaland is out and injured. And since you have Palmer, Palmer could be a really good captaincy option this week for this team. Is Palmer a good captaincy, a good shot? Yeah, I think Palmer captaincy this week is a pretty good shot. I will put a poll on the channel. I haven't put it yet. I'll put a captaincy poll so we can see how it's going out. It should be available on the community tab. So when you guys look through your subscription boxes, it should appear. So I'll put a poll out. I'll send my Basmati Rights team as well. Okay, let's load that as well. Basmati Rice team. Did I miss anyone else's teams that I was supposed to bring up? I don't think I did. Also, people, please smash that like button. If you guys are new or regulars, regardless, please do hit that like button. It does help the YouTube algorithm. And this might potentially be the final team, unless someone else has questions as well. This might be the final team for today. Rufus, Gabriel, Guehi, Timber, Chalaba, Bruno, Semenyo, Rogers, Palmer, Joe Pedro, and Bobby. Look at that, Tiger. You have Palmer. Palmer getting you some good points, hasn't it, Tiger? Recently. Might be a good captaincy option as well this week. Just press the button. Thank you. Thank you. This one, you could probably sell Bobby to Thiago for this team. That's a potential option you can think of doing. Bobby to Thiago if you have the money. I don't know how many free transfers you have though for this. Palmer captain, yeah. Palmer captain's a good shot this week. I don't know how many free transfers. Maybe Bobby to Thiago is one I can think of as a transfer this week for this one. I've got one free transfer. Yeah, so maybe Bobby to Thiago if you have the money is probably what I would do. 2.3. Do you have the money? How much is Bobby? I don't even know. Sunderland 5.5, 6.7.5. Thiago is 7 million. Yeah, you do have the money. You can do Bobby to Thiago if you wanted to. You could also keep Bobby against Fulham. It's not a bad fixture actually. I take it back. You can probably keep Bobby. You don't have to necessarily make the transfer. Actually, you can keep Bobby. You can probably roll the transfer now that I think about it a bit more. Would I roll the transfer? Yeah, you could roll the transfer. Could roll the transfer. Could do Timber to James Hill from Bournemouth to free up a bit more funds as well for future game weeks. That's another option as well. Top and Tyne, welcome. How are you doing? So that's something else as well you can do, Tiger. But maybe wait for Arsenal's fixture to finish and then kind of can decide. Best punt for this week, James from Chelsea. No, I wouldn't go James from Chelsea. His fitness is an issue right now. He's not even playing as much, so I wouldn't go him. Best punt top and time for this week, Cole Palmer. 1 week punt captaincy. Put the armband on him. That's your punt for the week. Please rank them in order to get them. Soboslai, Wilson, Dango. Also, what's your preferred Bournemouth mid? So many good budget picks. Preferred Bournemouth mid. I don't have a preferred Bournemouth mid. I do have a preferred Bournemouth attacker though. My preferred Bournemouth attacker, as things stand, would probably be Krupi Jr. for his price. But his minutes, as you can see, are absolutely unexpected. Actually, I never mind. I take it back. Ryan, new kid on the block. Here's my preferred Bournemouth mid. This is the new kid on the block. So he's probably the preferred Bournemouth mid. Who did you say from Timber? Timber to James Hill. James Hill? Yes, James Hill from Bournemouth is an option. Pretty good price. Now that I think about it as well, looking at your team, Tiger, you could also have a look at Ryan as well. For Zubamendi, like you can do Zubamendi to Ryan from Bournemouth and bench Timber. That is another option for this team. You know what? I don't even mind this guy as well as a instead of getting Semenyo, I don't mind going and getting this lad as well, to be honest, instead of Semenyo. West Ham, Sunderland, Brentford, Burnley, and then Man United 31. These are really good fixtures. Also means I won't be having a blank game week player. So I might even think about this guy potentially. Declan Rice to maybe him. He's on some purple patch at the moment. Can he continue the way he's going? I don't know. But this could be a pretty interesting option. In terms of Soboslai, Wilson, Dango, I will lean in Soboslai is available, right, for the Premier League game because he got suspended for the FA Cup. So I think I probably lean Dango first just because of these fixtures. I'll lean Dango first. Soboslai and Harry Wilson. I think Soboslai second and Harry Wilson third. I think if you were to ask me in 2 weeks' time, when it comes to Game Week 29, Harry Wilson will step ahead potentially slightly. So maybe Dango, Soboslai, Wilson. Who did send you my team on X? Okay, I'll load yours up as well. And I think then that will probably be it. Where is your team? Here we go. Alright, this is Topentine's team. Timber, Gabriel, Taco, Cash, Bruno, Mbema, Enzo, Krupi, Haaland, JP, Somerville, Alderete, Petrovic. Need to see what's the situation with Matty Cash in terms of his injury. If he's out, Turpentine, you could probably go and get in James Hill for budget reasons to free up some cash as well. You could also sell the Everton lad. Can you get how much budget? How much money do you have in the bank? Turpentine. How much cash in the bank? Nice, proper tempted by Dango. Then thanks. No worries. You're welcome. You're welcome. The only reason I said Dango was due to fixtures, by the way. Just purely a fixture play. But even over Dango, I think Rayan is slightly more tempting just because fixtures for Rayan seem more interesting. Top 9 has point 0.2. 0.2 to play with. That is not enough cash. 4.8. 5 million. Rip. Somerville has been doing pretty decently for West Ham. Since your Somerville 5.6 fixtures are getting hard. You could do him to Ryan from Bournemouth. Since Ryan's 5.5. Could do that if you wanted to. If you really, really wanted to. And that will allow you to bench Matty Cash or sell Matty Cash to James Hill. Oh, actually, you could even bench Krupi Jr. if Krupi's not going to start. Wanikwan, how are you doing? Welcome, welcome. What are you thinking about though, Top and 10? What are you thinking about in terms of moves? Sorry. But what are you thinking about? Manikwan, how's things going? I'm thinking of bringing in Palmer. This is why you asked for the punt. But how are you going to afford Palmer? 5.6. Timber. How much is Timber? How are you going to afford Palmer? I'm just wondering how you're affording Palmer. Surely you don't sell Bruno Fernandes. How do you afford Palmer? Even if you were to sell Timber down to a James Hill, that only gives you about 2 million extra. Even you'll have to upgrade Embuemo to a Palmer and downgrade Timber. I don't know if you really want to do that, but that's probably the only way I can think about it. That'll be for a hit, like downgrading Timber to Hill and upgrading Brian Embuemo. The other option is also, instead of downgrading Timber, is downgrading Rhea as a goalkeeper to Dubravka and upgrading Embuemo. That's the only other way. But I think Embuemo is still a pretty good option. But yeah, that's the only way I can think of you getting Palmer. Unless Haaland is injured. If Haaland is injured, that changes everything. If Haaland is injured, then you can just downgrade Haaland, obviously, and then you have no problems with funds. Bournemouth have 2 tricky away fixtures in Arsenal and Newcastle, so Dango feels better long term. Yeah, true. But yes, can walk him out. Yep. Fair enough. Oh wait, 2 away trick. But then the Arsenal and Newcastle, here's the thing, right? Arsenal and Newcastle are in 32 and 33. You're most likely going to have played your wildcard in 32. So you're purely thinking of the next 5 game weeks. If you're wildcard in 32, it doesn't even matter. Then you're just thinking next 5 game weeks, right? So then next 5 game weeks, the only tough fixture seems to be United. Which also from an attacking point of view could still be a pretty nice fixture. But yeah, Dango is also pretty good in terms of just fixtures, purely fixtures wise. It's not too bad. And he has a really good game week 31 fixture against Leeds. I'll just roll transfer. Could do that as well. So yeah, that is kind of where we are at. So I've got Ram from Bournemouth, took out Zubimendi. Alright. That's fine. That's for your basmati rice team, right? Fair enough. All right. I think we will end it here unless Wanikwan, any questions before I leave? I never heard of Ram before. He just joined. So he's played only the last 3 games for Bournemouth. That's probably why you haven't heard of him. All right. I think we'll end it here. Call it a day. So podcast on Thursday at I think it was 9:30 p.m. Sydney time. So basically half an hour later than what this stream started at. I wish I could sell Enzo through, but it's Burnley, right? Have to keep for Burnley at least. Have to keep for Burnley. But yeah, so podcast on Thursday, 9:30 p.m. Sydney time. So half an hour later than what this stream started. That's for Thursday. That's the next week, this week's content, as well as a deadline stream on the Saturday. So who you got on Thursday? I have Roy, who is the Arsenal fan. So we'll see what happens. Depending on what happens in Arsenal's picture in the morning, he would either be very happy or a bit annoyed. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, that's basically it. Thank you all for watching. What time Saturday? Saturday deadline's at 12:30, so we'll be live at 11:30, 10:30, 10:30. But I might even potentially look to start it a bit more earlier, like 10 o'clock. So 10 o'clock Sydney time maybe, which is what, 7 o'clock for you, Tiger, something like that. But yeah, cool. We'll end it here. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you guys have a good day, and I'll see you all on Thursday. If you've reached up to this point and you haven't hit that like button, what are you doing? Smash the like button and tell your friends as well. Get them to subscribe as well, so that we can get a bit more subscribers on this channel as well. And if you have any further questions, just put it in the comments and I will answer them all. If you want to support the channel as well, there are Discord memberships available via YouTube memberships. If anyone wants to join the Discord via YouTube memberships, that's available as well if you want to support the channel. Thank you all for watching. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and I'll see you all on Thursday. Until then, have a good one, everyone. Peace out.